Hello, welcome back. Today we're going to look specifically at the power of mind, of your mind, of everyone else's mind, of our mind. There's one mind, very powerful, more powerful than we possibly give it credit for here in the world. Really, we don't recognize our own strength. Quite simply. So today we have an invitation to do just that, to choose real strength, to choose the strength of Christ. It's an invitation to choose strength, real strength, not imaginary strength, such as the ability to bench press your own weight plus, such as the ability to earn a significant income, as wonderful as that may be. Same with the bench pressing. We're talking about our real strength here. And an invitation to choose awakening, choose the strength of Christ, choose your reality as one with God. One with, choose your reality as one with God instead of this illusory psychodrama. Because, like it or not, it's all or nothing. I invite you to take a look at the last video in this series for a more in-depth discussion of that. But it's total or it's not at all. Salvation is total or it's not at all. We're still appearing to be here, running amok, defining and defending personal territory, thinking our brother's out to get us, and concocting an elaborate defense against what? Nothing. Nothing. We're invited to choose awakening. And our choice is total or it's not at all. So today we're going to explain how this works. And our hope here is that this is a practical invitation to you to understand a little bit better why we should be choosing awakening, choosing the Holy Spirit, choosing the strength of Christ instead of all of the ego's psychodrama. My hope is that you come away with some inspiration and motivation to practice, because delay is completely unnecessary. Here's a question for each and every one of us. Have you delayed long enough? I mean, haven't you had enough of the same old thing? Haven't you had enough of your happiness being completely fleeting, no matter how many days, weeks, months, decades it may appear to last? Everything in this world ends. Ends. And are you done with that? It's a question that only you can answer for yourself. And you're here because at some point, even if you don't consciously remember at what point that was, it may not have even been in this current lifetime, but at some point you heard the call from your inner teacher and you answered it, even if it was only for a moment. That's enough to set you on what we call the path. It's enough to know that you'll never go back. Going back to complete ego clinging is unworthy of the Son of God. It's unworthy of you. And deep down, we all know that this is unworthy of us. That's why once you start on this path, it's like a train that has left the station and is not going back. Your awakening is inevitable. You can speed this process up by choosing it right now, by choosing to accept truth just as it is. All right. So here we go with some explanation, some discussion about mind and the power of our own mind. So the mind that accepts attack cannot love. All or nothing, all or nothing. If you accept attack, you cannot love. They're incompatible. They're absolutely incompatible. Attack sees a separation. Me, you. And when you see yourself as separate, you automatically see everything and everyone as separate. Now, the reverse would also be true, and it is true, should you choose to accept it. When you see everyone as one, they're one. Power of your mind. So the mind that sees separation and attack cannot love. It's not capable of love at that point. It remains a potential state, and the mind is simply confused. Why can't it see love? Well, it believes, in its belief in separation, that it can destroy love. When you see yourself as an individual, you see yourself as under attack. So we preemptively look to position ourselves so that we're not harmed. Maybe physically, maybe economically, and in any number of ways. And we believe we can cut down our brother. We believe we can cut down love. And it's real to us because that's what we've chosen to side with. This is a really important point for all spiritual students of all traditions. What we choose to side with is real for us. If you choose to see yourself as an individual self-sustaining survival unit, this 80% water thing with gray hair and inevitably deteriorating physical faculties, if you choose to see yourself as that, so be it. Now, why is this powerful? Because the reverse is true. Should you choose to see yourself as the Christ, as one with God, boom, so be it. What do you experience? See yourself as a physical body, an individual self-sustaining survival unit, boom, that's real for you. See yourself as the Son of God. What do you see? Boom, that's real for you. It's a choice. And the mind is that powerful. It is. It is. So maybe today is the 1000th time you've heard about the power of your mind, but perhaps today is the day that you connect with this message and begin to put it into practice. Maybe today. I don't know. Maybe. So the mind that can't perceive love because it thinks it can destroy it, the mind that doesn't understand love falls down the rabbit hole of confusion. It can't perceive itself as loving. The mind that believes in attack can't perceive itself as loving, so it loses its awareness of being. It loses its awareness of who we are. It loses its awareness of itself, ourselves. We lose our way and we become stressed out and confused, dazed, confused, and paralyzed with fear. We become mortally afraid of everything and everyone. And this is life as we seem to experience it here in the world with our constant paranoia. Even if you don't consider yourself to be stressed out and afraid, there is always something that will come along and trigger you and trigger fear and fear-based responses and attack thoughts. Even if you don't and would never physically reach out and attack somebody, you're thinking it. Judgment and judgment, simple judgment, looking at someone's social media feed and thinking, how the hell can this person possibly think this? Blah, 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 blah. We instantly fall down that rabbit hole of judgment unless we've trained our mind to recognize this, forgive, and carry on with life and extending love to our brother. Hence the importance of mind training, because a mind that can't perceive itself as loving is lost. It finds itself lost. So it's confused. And it's the power of our own thinking that has done this. We have believed that we're separate. So the power of our thinking shows us separation. And when we believe we're one, the power of our thinking will show us that we're one. This same power that has made all of this confusion and the drama that we appear to experience here in the world, all of this psychodrama, because it is, let's face it, psychodrama. Inconsistency, constant shifting psychodrama. Because it is that. The power of our thinking has made that. And it is the same power of our thinking that can unmake it. Why? Because this power is not of our making. We didn't make this. We did not create ourselves. God created us. So this power is of God. It's who we are. We're misusing it in choosing to see ourselves as individuals. When you choose to see yourself as one with your brother, one with your creator, one, what do you then experience because of the power of this? And it will succeed because this power is not of your making. You did not make yourself. And because of this, we can awaken. This is a dream, and we're waking up from it. So part of this power is the power of our mind to choose. It really is. Part of it is the power of us for us to choose. That's part of who we are. So, having chosen confusion and fear, we can choose peace, the peace of God and oneness. It is a choice, and we're invited to make this choice. When we choose separation, we become, in the end, dazed and confused, and we need a way out. What's the way out? Your inner teacher. Spiritual practice, whatever the form, is the way out. Your inner teacher is the way out. The inner teacher is not separate from you. Inner teacher, part of your own mind, the part of your mind that's teaching you to perceive truly. This is where the call to spiritual practice comes from. It's the call to awaken. And at some point along the line, again, who knows when, maybe you are very aware of that. Maybe it was yesterday and you're consciously aware of it, or maybe not. But at some point you have chosen to answer the call. So thank you for that on behalf of all of us. It benefits all of us when one person answers the call. How many people are there in the end? But how many of us are there? Well, there are no people. We're one. One. And not Homo sapiens sapiens either. So, I mean, try having the ego accept that for the first time. So if it's the first time that you're experiencing this and hearing this idea, yeah, expect tremendous resistance. You may be thinking that this course is absolutely nuts. Well, it's very different from the world's thinking, isn't it? But think about it. The Son of God is not a sack of flesh and bones that's 80% water, destined to live a very short life, even if you live to be 80, 90, 100 years old. Right? That's not eternity. It's time. Eternity is outside of time, and the Son of God has never left its source, capital S. We are spirit as God created us, which has nothing to do with the image that you see in the mirror. It has nothing to do with anything in this world at all. It has nothing to do with this world at all. It has nothing to do with anything that shifts, transforms, or is perishable in any way. It's beyond all of this, which is a dream. Anything that shifts, anything that transforms is a dream. This is not you. What you're looking at is not me. It's not you. It's a pixelated image on your screen where the pixels are arranged in the form of what looks to be a middle-aged man in suburban Phoenix, Arizona. That's what it looks like. So I invite you, when something here lands for you and causes you to really think about your present moment choice for God instead of for the ego, when something lands for you, know that it is your inner teacher that is speaking to you. This is the call that's going out to you. Will you listen and will you answer it? And hopefully, the answer to that is yes. Which seems as good a place as any to bring our discussion to a close today. I thank you very much, as always, for joining me and for your subscription, for all of the likes and all of the comments and questions. So I really do invite your comments and questions. If you have them, please leave them here because the intention is to have this serve as a guide for you and a supplement to your own learning. In no way does watching this video ever pretend to supplant your own study or practice of this material. It is not a substitute for your doing this course. In fact, this is how we learn. We prove that these ideas, however wild and crazy and psychotic and nuts they may seem to the ego, however woo-woo or far out or esoteric or whatever label the ego wants to hurl, it'll come up with many, right? However bizarre this may seem, it's your inner teacher talking to you. And the purpose of this course is to, by practical application, prove that the ideas we're talking about are true. You want proof? Prove it to yourself. This image on your screen is not going to prove anything to you. You will prove it to yourself through forgiving the Son of God, through getting in touch with your inner teacher and allowing your inner teacher to run the show, all of it, totally. Give everything over to your inner teacher. Your teacher will show you what to do and will correct all errors in your mind. When your errors have been corrected, you perceive truly. You see things as they are, rather than the way that you would have them be. At that point, our true perception is easily translated into the knowledge of God, awakening. Call it enlightenment, call it whatever you want. Call it returning home if you want to, if that's helpful. Understand that we've never left. We're simply waking up to this. So along the way, if you have questions, please feel welcome to leave them. And the subscription button's the red arrow here in the corner of the screen. If you haven't joined us yet, please go ahead and do so because we'd love to have you. All right. So thank you, as always, for tuning in here, and I will see you all again very soon.